What's up, guys? Isaiah Rodriguez back here again, and today, this time, you guessed it, another Jonathan and Friends video. Well, the last time they look at is near the African engine, but yeah, this time we're gonna do two characters this time. Why? Because I'm too lazy to do four. I promise. Next time we're gonna do four. I promise. But today we're going to only do just two. And they are another twin characters. The last twin characters that I did were Donald and Douglas. But this time it's two twin engines again. So you're wondering, who is going to be this time? Well, it's another time in the Magic River characters. And you bet you know who they are. It's none other than Splatter and Dodge from Thomas in the Magic Railroad. Yep, you heard it. I just draw Splatter and Dodge just today. And I have to say, they are pretty amazing. Tanny 2009 suggested Splatter and Dodge, so I want to give a shout out to him. So, if you don't know who Splatter and Dodge are, well, they are the attendant sidekicks in Tom's in the Magic Railroad movie, who was the one that's trying to destroy Lady. But Splatter and Dodge, they're just bumbling idiots, and they're not much useful to Diesel 10. However, during the final climax in the chase scene, Splatter and Dodge, they didn't want to help anymore. They're like, nah, we're not gonna help you anymore. It's unknown what happened to them afterwards. But there's like a couple of theories that Splatter and Dodge might get sent away, or they just return to the mainland. And fun fact about Splatter and Dodge is that they're really gonna come back in Day of the Diesels, but it's been backfiring. They're also gonna really return to the Great Race, but it's been backfired again. I mean, Splatter and Dodge only appear in the Magic Railroad movie, which was sad, but they shouldn't appear in the GDI series. Will be pretty interesting. So, let's talk about the voice actors. Now, I know in the modern era, there was no voice actors, it was just a narrator. But in the Magic Railroad movie, there are voice actors. This was the only time in the modern era they used voice actors in stop motion. I know in stop motion stuff they also use voice actors, like Thomas Sister shows Tugs. Like, not only have a narrator, Captain Star was a narrator, but the characters, they each have their own voice actors. They shouldn't have did that in the Tom the Tank Engine model show before they switched to GTI. Another stop motion I know was the Curious George ones from 1984, the same year Tom the Tank Engine became a TV show. Both of them are the original, as well as Curious George goes to the hospital. I think that the only stop motion ones I know that are voice actors. But let's move on to the voice actors. So, in the final cut in the Magic Railroad movie, Splatter was voiced by Neil Chrome, who was the same voice actor to play as Gordon, as well as Gordon All Engines Go, and also Diesel 10, I think. And Dog was voiced by Kevin Frank in the final cut. And originally they're gonna voice by Splatter and Dog were both gonna voice by Patrick Ben. However, they were being replaced by Neil Chrome and Kevin Frank. And as a problem with Neil Chrome was that he's voiced Gordon in All Engines Go. Even though I hate All Engines Go, Neil Chrome impressive from Gordon in the series is pretty good. I mean, the voice actors only for adult engines like Gordon, James, Kenshin, Hero, they're pretty good, but not the kid voice actors, because I don't see why we have to voice kid the voice as like Thomas, Percy, Diesel, and Nia. And besides, I know that Thomas is like a tank engine and all that, who's like adult teenager, but he acts like a kid. Like, there's some other characters who can act like childish, like SpongeBob SquarePants. He's an adult, but he acts like a kid. Same thing with Gumball. Even though Gumball is not an adult yet, he acts childish sometimes. Same thing with his brother Darwin. But yeah, but yeah, and besides, I mean, the voice actor origins go is okay, but except for the kids voice actors, I mean, yeah, I don't have a problem with some kids voice actors. I mean, there's some kids voice actors, like, mostly when it comes like the kids, is that like mostly like kids and cartoon, they voice they made like adults. Like the adults, they voice like the kids like Cartman, Stan, Kyle and Kenny in South Park. And I know like another kids character that I know, like Sophia the First, she's voiced by a young voice actor named Ariel Winter, who also voiced like Mario and the Mermaid and Jake and the Ned when Pirates, young Kylie in Kingdom Hearts 3, and as well as Penny from the PewDiePie and Sherman 2014 film. I mean, they're just a couple of cartoon characters voiced by actual adults. But that's all I can say about the background of Splatter and Dodge. But that's enough with the chit chat. Let's get into the full details of them. So, both of them, for like that part over here, I use a black crayon for both of them. For the buffers and the bubble beans, as well as their wheels, and I also use pencil for these type of parts for the wheels. Same thing for the side rods. I also use pencil for their bodies, but I kept their names white. I mean, the difference between the names that Dodge have 5 letters in his name, but Splatter, he had 8 letters in his name. Wait, Spatt. Yeah, he has 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, my bad. Splatter actually has 7 letters in his name, while Dodge only has 5. And I kept their like faces like the same. And what's different about them is that, well, I as you may know, I used a purple crayon to paint like these parts like over here purple, as well as that part with the purple pencils that I have. Well, I colored Dodge in an olive, but since I don't have an olive crayon, I use a spatter crayon that represents the olive color, as you can see. I mean, the only difference between like Splatter and Dodge is that Splatter had that part here color, but Dodge does not. It's just painted in gray. So yeah, that's all I can say about Splatter and Dodge. And plus, Splatter and Dodge will appear in the second season 2, so be on the lookout for that. But there's one problem. Splatter and Dodge, when it comes to their Tomy/Playwell and Trapmaster models, they're pretty hard to find and they're pretty expensive. I mean, Dodge is more easier to find on eBay since Fisher Price only made him and not Splatter, which is unfortunate. But yeah. But the good news is that I put Tommy, Splatter, and Dodge on my Christmas list. So, it's unknown that I might get them or not, but we'll see. I will show you the Christmas present that I have for 2021. I did that last year when I did my face on my computer. But I'm doing my own tablet, yeah. And yeah. Splatter Dog, when it comes to the Tomy/Trapman mod that I want in Season 2 with their appeal, it's gonna be like hard to find. But I may do like customs of them, because I saw in 2009 He used two 2009 diesels to make Splatter and Dodge, even though Fisher-Price made Dodge and not Splatter. I mean, Dodge was pretty popular to find a Fisher-Price line, either from the internet, on Amazon, eBay, today still on eBay, as well I can find them in stores, like anywhere, like in Target and Walmart, even Kmart around like the 29 to 10, all the way up to 2013 or 14. I mean, yeah, that's what I can say about them, about Splatter and Dodge. They're pretty interesting characters, even though they are pretty dumb in the Magic World movie for Diesel 10. So yeah, what's your opinion on Splatter and Dodge? Do you like Splatter and Dodge, or you do not like Splatter and Dodge? Because I like to know. I mean, Splatter and Dodge are pretty amazing characters, and I wish they would come back in GDI, but it had been backfired 2 times. But yeah, so yeah, and of course, one more thing. Even though it's kind of a little bit late, well, we're now like 17 days left until Christmas. Even though the video will be coming up, well, pretty soon, like in the morning. And you want to know what character will be for 17 this time? Not other than one of my favorite YouTubers, TrainBoy17. Why, you may ask? Because the 17 of the channel name. And he's one of my favorite YouTubers, besides Tandy 2009, The Eat the Family, Trevor Davis, and Train King. And also Wellington Caterpillar too. So yeah, Train17 is 17 now for 70 days left for Christmas. So, what do you think about drawing the Splatter Dodge? Do you like them, or you dislike them? Because I like to know. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's me, Isaiah Rodriguez, signing out. Goodbye everybody, and good night.